Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another show. My dear brothers and sisters, this show is live, which means wherever you may be in the world, you can communicate with us, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, or you're just streaming live with us. If you want to call us, you can. Yeah. 773-434-6625 or 773-434-6631. We have a wonderful sister with us today. I've known her for some time, and she's none other than the very distinguished Twyler Jenkins. How are you?
I am doing very well. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Yeah, now we've talked about this in your company for some time. I've seen you involved with other events that you've planned, and you've been doing this, as I say, for at least 18 years.
At least 18
Even though
years.
you was fresh out of high school when you started. But
something like that.
Yeah. But let me say, you know, for people who don't know you, are you originally from Chicago?
I am not. Actually, I am from southern Indiana, very small town called Madison.
Madison.
So I was born in Indianapolis, raised in Madison, Indiana. I'm number 10 of 11 children. So I have 7 brothers and 3 sisters, but I have been in Chicago for 20 years.
20 years?
20 years. I came here to work for Johnson Publishing Company for Mr. Johnson.
Did you?
Yes.
And how did that work out?
It was great. I was there for several years before I resigned. And
was it Johnson Publishing Company?
With
in what capacity?
Ebony Magazine. I was their marketing director.
Is that right?
So I created added value opportunities. So I created events. So even then I was doing event planning. So I created events for their advertisers to take advantage of added value opportunities other than, in addition to publishing in the magazine.
So you had an opportunity to see and interact with many of the celebrities, and even had probably something to do with them being on the cover occasionally.
Occasionally, that would be true. And so I had an opportunity to really take the Ebony brand to the next level, and allowing their advertisers to not only be in the publication but also in the community. And so whether we were doing new events or events that Ebony had been doing for years, that's what my job was.
You know, and when I think about marketing and advertising, and Ebony didn't seem to have any difficulty in getting advertisement, but since you were doing that work, it probably wasn't as easy as it appeared.
No, it's definitely not as easy as it appears. And even with the new venture, which we're going to be talking about, a lot of that even ties into advertisers and sponsors and partners and things like that. And so it does take creativity, and it does take a lot of work to be able to keep advertisers engaged to your demographic and with the publication at that time, and also in the community. So yes, you're right.
You know, historically speaking, that is really something for you to reflect on. I remember I came down to Ebony, and of course Linda was very nice to us.
Yes.
And there were some pictures that we have now of the funeral of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Just some wonderful pictures that were made available for us during that time.
Right.
Because as you know, they took pictures of everybody, and it seemed that everybody that was somebody came through Jet or Ebony one way or the other.
Yes.
So what was it like, that atmosphere at that time, fresh out of college or whatever, and coming to work for it?
It was amazing, actually. It was, I thought, absolutely the pinnacle of my life. I will never forget driving off of Lakeshore Drive and seeing the Ebony Jet building, and just being so excited that, you know, I had been so blessed, and God had taken me at that time in my life to come to, you know, the big city, and to work for such an esteemed not only person but even institution with Mr. Johnson and what he had done with the brand since the 1940s, which was unheard of course. And so it was great to be able to come in and work with him and alongside others who had been there for years, and You're right, to see celebrities and coming into the building, it was a very exciting time. And I truly believe that even the short period of time I was there helped me to establish the career that I have now, even with my own business.
Now, of course, your event that is coming up, Susan Taylor is going to be featured prominently, who
Yes.
did Essence, is that right?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
correct.
And during that time, she would even appear in Ebony.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Susan Taylor is an icon in our community, especially for African American women. I mean, my business partner, Dawn Still Halbert, and I were just elated when we were able to land her to be our featured speaker for our Friday night celebration for the I Am That Woman retreat. And so that, we felt like we had created a vision board of who we wanted to be there. And when the door opened and the opportunity presented itself and we were able to land her, we just thought, what an amazing opportunity for us to be able to have her.
Now, this thing what we're planning now is international in scope.
Yes.
And certainly you have your international credentials, and you've gone on to do a lot of things for Operation Push and others.
Yes.
Events. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about event planning and what does that mean?
Absolutely.
How does a person go from being marketing director for one of the biggest companies in the world, and certainly most important in our community,
Yes.
and now you're on your own, if you will. You got to start from scratch. You got to develop some things. You got to create interest in.
Absolutely.
So how was that like? What happened?
18 years ago, I really didn't set out. When I left Johnson Publishing Company, at the time my father was ill and I went back to Indiana for a little while, and he got better and I came back to Chicago. And I did a subcontract for a girlfriend who had a merchandise company. And that spiraled into, one person asking me to do this project and that project. And I went to the Women's Business Development Center to learn how to start a business and launch a business in Chicago.
So you actually went and got instruction.
I did, because I knew nothing about owning your own business and what that meant, and licensing and accountants and lawyers and all of the things that comes along with it. And so the Women's Business Development Center really jump-started my career. And it's been 18 years. I set out to work in our community. I had been blessed before I came to Johnson Publishing Company. I was at the Indiana Black Expo. And so I just had a career, although I grew up in a very small rural southern Indiana town with not very many black people. My career really just landed with working in our community. And so that's what I wanted to do, even when I started my company, Strategic Event Solutions. And so I have worked for the Chicago Urban League and had the pleasure of working with Rainbow Push and Reverend Jesse Jackson for years, planning their conference and the MLK breakfast.
And let's face it, they've had some conferences.
Yes, and the MLK breakfast, and but even the Art Institute and the University of Chicago and the University of Chicago Lab School. So even outside of the community, I've been able to do lots of meetings and events for McDonald's, Ronald McDonald's House International Conference. So the list goes on and on of what the company has been, very blessed to do. So about 4 years ago, as I was looking at my next, I wanted to know what we could do different with the company. And that is how the I Am That Woman retreat was born.
Now, brothers and sisters, my guest is going to be here for the entire time. So you have time to call a friend and tell her that wonderful sister who does all those planning events in Chicago and around town is here with us. Twyler, you haven't done that many interviews. I've interviewed you before, but I think this is the first time you've been live with me, and this is something dear to you, what you're planning here today. But I just want the people to know that you're willing to take questions, and,
absolutely.
and you don't mind even sharing with them how to get involved.
Oh, absolutely.
But I got to go back to one thing you said. You didn't really know what you wanted to do, but you went to business development. Who turned you on to that?
I'm not sure how I came across the Women's Business Development Center, probably just from doing some research, which, anytime I'm looking into something, Google will take you anywhere. So at that time, probably really just asked around and inquired about how to start a business in Chicago, found the classes that they had, and which were just, enlightening, informative, and very educational on what steps to take, what to do first, and so on and so forth.
What is your degree in?
My degree is actually in journalism and political science.
Okay. Well, let's take a call and see if there's one of your friends who recognize you from Indianapolis.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the air.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Munir. Sister Nora Muhammad, calling from Camden, New Jersey.
How are you from Camden, New Jersey?
I'm doing very, very well. I'm enjoying the program, Brother Munir, and I have a question for you guests.
Yes.
How did you, when you were younger, did you see yourself being a business owner? And what was that transition like for you? And finally, how would you advise young women who are interested in taking their talent and using it to serve the community in a business capacity?
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you. When I was younger, I don't think I really saw myself as being a business owner, although our family's very entrepreneurial and very military-like. So we have a lot of family. I have a lot of brothers and sisters who have gone in the military, but most of us own our own businesses now. And my dad had his own painting business. So, but once I left corporate America, and really just how it happened and transitioned, what I'm happy about more than anything is that I did take the business classes. And I did educate myself on what to do and how to do. And I would really impress anyone who wants to start their own business is make sure that you learn as much as you can about what it is that you want to do, what the market is bearing, who your niche market is, who your demographic is, because at the end of the day, you, of course, want to make money. Some people think it's glamorous. It's the hardest job that you'll ever have in your life.
Yeah.
And so, because it's never ending, there's no 9 to 5 clock. There's no such thing. You work constantly and tirelessly to make it work. And so I would encourage anyone who has that aspiration to have mentors, to make sure that you talk to people in the industry, do your research, and don't be afraid of that, and talk to other people who are already doing what you want to do.
Now, let me go back to, because as I said, I've known you for a while, and I see you in many places, even in New York. And what I wanted to say is that in working with Operation Push, where we have 4 or 5 events a year, and one of them, the Wall Street project that was in New York, how does that transition take place? And of course, we're going to get to Susan Taylor. But you based here in Chicago. When did you know you had to go beyond Chicago for that marketing group that's out?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
So we've done planning in Atlanta. We've done planning in Philadelphia and Vegas. Even
that's what I'm saying. I mean, no boundaries.
No, absolutely. And now we've been going internationally, as we'll talk about. So you have to work up your capacity. I mean, you have to build the company. You have to have a great team. You can't do it all yourself. You have to make sure that you have people who know your level of professionalism and expertise, educate them as well. I believe in pouring into my employees. I have a staff member who's going to training about a new registration program that we're using. So constantly staying abreast of what the meetings and events industry is doing. Whatever industry that you're in, it's important that you just don't know how to do what you do, but certainly knowing, the expertise, even getting credentials or even getting certification in it is also helpful.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt that Chicago being the type of town that people come to for their businesses, meetings, and the different groups. That, like, for an example, they tell me Chicago is really sold out this week coming up. There's always something in town.
Always.
So do you have to monitor those kind of things to stay abreast of how they're doing it as well?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, even sometimes knowing what's happening at McCormick Place, whether they're small conventions and meetings or large conventions and meetings, even for some of my small clients, because if they're looking for a room block, for instance, we're planning the University of Chicago Laboratory School's colloquium on John Dewey, their founder, who went to China 100 years ago. It's in May of 2019, but we've already done, oh yes, we've been working actually since last year. And so as we were looking for the hotel, we found that there's a citywide, and a citywide means that there's a huge event at McCormick Place, and all of the hotels are sold out. And so, you know, you have to do your proper planning in order to be able to provide the best services for your clients. So
now, before we get into the real reason that you're here, let's talk about this now. Obviously, you're quite professional.
Thank you.
When did you have to force those friends of yours that you are professional, and those who don't believe that you're professional, Twyler, will you do this for me? Will you do that? The check is in the mail. When I make some money, I give you some money. When did you let them know that, look, I'm a professional, this is what I do, and I'm afraid that if you want some lower level planning, you and the girls get together privately, but Twyler can't handle that. When did you?
Well, it's a challenge, but you know, I do have a big heart, and so you know,
every now and then you relent.
Every now and then I do have to relinquish that. I don't do many social events, and oftentimes that's where those things come in. So birthday parties and anniversary parties and things like that. We definitely kind of major in corporate events, and you know, most of the affairs that you've seen me at have been several thousand people that we're managing and things like that. But if time allows and someone is doing something on a social level, because generally the budgets just aren't there. I mean, most of the time people don't want to invest $10,000 to the planner just for their 60th birthday party or, you know, things like that. But it's something that I enjoy. You know, I'm also the co-president of the board of directors for the Southside Community Arts Center. And so even in that role, giving my talents and treasures back to them on the planning side, which, you know, oftentimes is expensive and costly because it's a lot of time, it's a lot of detail, it's a lot of organization, and sometimes people think they're planners until they get into it. And then when you make it look easy, a lot of people think that they can do it themselves. And so, but once you get into it and you understand the level of detail and organization that is involved in the process, it doesn't always come out that way.
Which brings me to the point of the Bureau of Tourism. Do you have a working relationship with in Illinois?
Yes. So with the Choose Chicago, I have contacts over there like Michelle Pondexter and others. And so sometimes when we need information or resources from them, we can certainly go there as well.
Okay, brothers and sisters, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break. But I want to prepare you. I want you to be able to get a pen and paper, because when we come back, we're going to talk more in detail about what Twyler is planning in the country of Mexico. Yeah, I know you. It's not Mexico City, is it?
No.
Okay. But anyway, you can call us now. Get this number down straight. 773-434-6625 or 434-6631. I'll give you another line if you show me that you want to talk to me. You can email us at crow@crow.org. You should be watching us on Facebook as well as YouTube. So I'm going to take this quick break. If you don't want to talk, call a friend and tell her this wonderful sister, Twyler Jenkins, is preparing a great retreat for, I guess it's women only.
It is.
It is. Okay. It is. I'm going to take a break, and we'll come right back and talk more on the other side. We'll be right back.
ComEd Smart Ideas presents The Power of Energy Efficiency. Altogether, you have saved over $700 million, all because you took part in our energy efficiency programs, like our central AC rebates, fridge and freezer recycling, and lighting discounts. The small changes you've made to be more energy efficient really add up. The math is easy. ComEd's energy efficiency programs equal savings for you. Learn more about energy efficiency at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
You're the sweetest little granddaughter in the world. You're everything I hope for. You are so beautiful. I love you, Emma.
Searching for a restaurant that serves delicious home-cooked meals at an affordable price like your grandmother used to make? Well, the search is over. Stop by McAuthor's, the new talk of Chicago. We offer a warm atmosphere with friendly service and excellent meals ranging from carry-out, dine-in, or catering for your special events. McAuthor's is open 7 days per week from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. Come visit us at
5412
West Madison Street or call us at 773-261-2316.
This portion of the Munir Muhammad Show is brought to you by East Lake Management, innovative solutions for building communities of the future today.
Assalamu alaikum. We are back, and brothers and sisters, we're continuing our conversation, and we're streaming live. And I mean that all over the world. If you're in Paris, you can call us, just in case you don't believe me. Even if you're on the south side, you can call me. 773-434-6625. And I'm sure there are many inquiries. But now, Mexico, why you chose Mexico? And tell me all about this retreat.
Yes. So the I Am That Woman retreat is all about, it's for women who, again, have spent most of their lives taking care of everyone else. And now it's time for them to do some self-reflection. And so sometimes in life, as we're going through that next phase and into that next phase, we are oftentimes saying, you know, am I doing what it is that I really want to do? Am I living my best life? Am I where I want to be? And so this retreat is specifically for you to be able to go through an evaluation process, but also relax and enjoy the retreat. It's a 5-star resort. It's an all-inclusive resort, and we chose Mexico because, one, it's inexpensive to fly there from here, very inexpensive. There's other places domestically that's more expensive. And so, and two, with it being an all-inclusive resort, you don't have to worry about having a large bill at the end of the 4 or 5 days that you've been there, enjoying your time. And three, we wanted a place where these ladies could run away to paradise and return with a plan. So the speakers who we have coming will be able to give them that action plan for them to be able to come home and then again live their best life.
So this is kind of a motivation for these women.
Absolutely.
And you know, of course, there's some high-profile women here in Chicago. Let's face it, a lot of successful women here.
Absolutely.
So the likes of who is going to be there? So the who's who? What?
Well,
I mean, are people just lining up now? You're running out of room. That's why you came here, because it's the last chance of what?
It is. We are 34 days away from our first day. And so we're excited that we do want to keep it intimate. So it is limited to 150 women. We do still have some spaces available, although our double rooms are all sold out. So we've been very successful to that regard. But ladies can still register at www.iamthatwomanretreat.com. Again, that's www.iamthatwomanretreat.com. But as you were saying, there are a lot of successful ladies here in Chicago, and we have many of them coming to speak. So Amy Hilliard is interviewing Tracy Edmonds.
You did the cake, Amy Hilliard, didn't she do the cake?
Yes, comfort cake. Yes, and so she calls herself the serial entrepreneur. So Amy has been the president of fashion fairs. She's had comfort cake, and so now she's even doing consulting and heads the Hilliard Group. So Amy's going to be interviewing Tracy Edmonds about you, and you know Tracy's been
Tracy from?
Well, that's Babyface's ex-wife.
Okay.
And then Tracy is now with Deion Sanders, but she's going to talk about relationships. But more importantly, even her career and how she's navigated that, because Tracy was in producing and production and TV in Hollywood for many years with soul food. So long before African American women who are now doing a lot of primetime shows, Tracy was doing that. So her and Amy are going to talk about that. We say that Amy's going to interview her Oprah Winfrey and Barbara Walters style.
Yeah.
So that's one of our sessions.
On the stage and they have an intimate conversation.
They're going to have an intimate conversation about just navigating career. This retreat is really about self-reflection and self-care, but because if your best self isn't showing up at work, then you're probably not, having the best experience at work. Another saying that we kind of go to is you can't pour from an empty cup. And so, sometimes we do need to take that time to put our oxygen mask on first, as the flight attendant would tell you if the plane is going down. And because we spend so much time, taking care of our children, our grandchildren, our parents, our communities, our churches, we really don't take that time. And there's not, as I started doing research, I found there's not a whole lot of opportunities for women and even women of color, even though this isn't necessarily just for women of color. It's for any woman who really needs to kind of get away and, again, run away to paradise and return with a plan.
And you still have a lot of professional women that work in corporate America that, but you don't care whether they married or single.
No.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And while when we started this, we talked about women, in the latter stages of their careers, but really we have 20-year-old women coming, we have 30-year-old women coming. It's really for women who really want to take that time and, again, kind of do some self-reflection. Wondering if they're doing what they want to do. Perhaps you're doing a career that pays the bills but isn't fulfilling. And how do you make that transition? How do you make that change? Perhaps you just need some rest because the itinerary is scheduled so that you're not in a ballroom all day long. We certainly give you time to enjoy the 5-star resort where you're going to be. And then the camaraderie of women. So we have other speakers, world-renowned speakers like Aida Rodriguez, the comedian. She's coming. And Kim Coles. Kim Coles is coming. She's one of our luncheon speakers. And then we have some local speakers like Love McPherson, who's a relationship expert. We start the day with yoga because it's about mental wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness. So it's all holistic wellness.
Didn't I hear you say also they would have their own butler or something?
Yes. So at the resort, it offers some wonderful amenities. And so you do have private butler service. They can pack and unpack for you. Selected spa services are also included. You only pay 20% service fees. So, a lot of times when you go abroad and you'll go to a 5-star resort and it might cost $250, $300 for a massage. Well, at this particular resort, now I've been there 3 times already.
Oh, really?
So I've experienced it and it is quite wonderful. So at this resort, there are selected services where you only pay 20% service fees. So for instance, I've had an hour-long massage with 2 people. It's called 4 Hands, and it's only $80. So
4 hands.
4 hands working working on you at the same time. It's quite lovely.
No matter how big or small your body is. Huh? Okay, brothers and sisters, listen, we're streaming live. I'm excited, but I'm not a woman. So this is for women only. And I hope that you would call my sister. And so what about registration? And how do people get involved right now?
They can still register. Absolutely. We still have space available. They can go online, look at our website, which gives you all the information. So www.IamThatWomanRetreat. Again,
I am that woman.
IamThatWomanRetreat.com. www.IamThatWomanRetreat.com. So you just had our flyer up on display, and it has some of our featured speakers on it. So again, we're talking about wellness, health and wellness. We have Ernestine Shepherd. Do you know who Ernestine is?
No, but you're going to make me know.
She's the 82-year-old bodybuilder. So
she looks like she's about 40.
Yes. And so Ernestine has an amazing story. And she didn't start bodybuilding until she was in her 50s and 60s. And so she's on a panel discussion with Valerie Twyler, who is local.
Okay.
And Valerie came out of corporate America, and she is 67. Training for an Ironman competition.
Was Valerie a school teacher at one time?
She may have been at one time, but she came out of corporate America doing diversity work for a Fortune 500 company.
You mind if we take a call?
No, absolutely.
It's too big. Maybe they might want to write a check.
Yeah.
Caller, you're on the air with Twyler. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Munir.
Wa alaikum salam.
And good evening to you, Ms. Jenkins.
Good evening.
I have a question. You are so right about these women retreats. I was fortunate enough about 2 months ago to be invited out to one, and this was my first experience, and they had vendors and all types of things. So it is a growing trend that is going on. Do you all, I know you were talking about kind of like pricing, but is there like a group rate, like for instance, because it was like 5 or 6 of us that went and the price went down. So how do you handle large group rates, and what type of vendors will you all have and products you will be selling? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you for your question. So we can certainly offer a group rate. I would have you to contact me directly for that, because most of the time women are generally coming with their girlfriends or coming alone. But if you are coming with a group, I'll be more than happy to work with you on a group rate. You can reach me directly. I'll give you my phone number, which is 312-399-6801. That's 312-399-6801, and we'll be more than happy to work with you on a group rate. Because we are traveling to Mexico, we don't have a lot of vendors. Some of our corporate sponsors have an opportunity to have tables there, and they will be giving out some of their products and services and things like that. This is our inaugural one, so we will be doing this again annually. The I Am That Woman.
Not necessarily the same place.
No, not necessarily the same place. And the brand will also be doing things locally. So we will be having something in March for Women's History Month here in Chicago. So if you're not able to join us in Mexico, please stay tuned and always check our website at the IamThatWomanRetreat.com to find out about some other events and opportunities that we'll have locally.
Now, the sister stated that this seemed to be a growing trend.
It is.
But as I say, I've known you for a long time, and it seems to me, even though you said this is your inaugural one, but that I've seen, heard of many of these before, that women's retreat.
Sure. So wellness is trending. So as you know, even in the food industry, vegan, vegetarians, many restaurants are having to adjust their menus for healthier eating and things like that. I've recently adjusted my dietary restrictions to I'm now vegan. And so, it's just one of those things that people are being more mindful about what they're consuming and how they're living. Because unfortunately, our society is very ill in many different respects. Mental illness is on the rise in our society as well. Obesity, of course, heart disease, and all of these things are really caused by what you're putting into your body.
It's
and
tougher
so,
and tougher.
It is. It really is. And considering the political climate that we're, oftentimes with the stress of work and things like that, that's another reason why Dawn and I really kind of created this retreat for women to be able to get away and kind of remove yourself from all of that to kind of do your own self-check.
Now, this retreat begins when?
It begins October the 10th. It runs October 10th through the 14th. So it's 5 days and 4 nights in Riviera Maya, Mexico. It's a short flight to Cancun, Mexico, and then coming over to the 5-star resort. And the prices are not bad. Registration and hotels are still available. And again, the website, they can go and still register.
I think you said something to the effect that one, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let me take one other quick break.
Okay.
And I'll come back because there's something I want to make sure that I get in.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, again, the phone number is 773-434-6625 or 773-434-6631. But before I forget it, the corporate sponsors.
Yes.
What do they, who are some of you, or do you want to mention them?
Sure, absolutely. So Essence, actually, when we were talking about Susan Taylor being our keynote speaker for our Friday dinner, we were thrilled that Essence picked us up as a media partner. And so we're so excited that we're on their digital media, and next year we'll even have a bigger presence with them, and hopefully even be able to join them at the Essence Festival and things like that. TV One, we're in talks with them right now to, we're also on their digital brand, so you might see some commercials on TV One if you're looking at their station and see us being promoted on that. We have some corporate sponsors who are giving us in-kind products and things like that. So we have some hair care partners. And so we're really excited about this first year, and next year is going to be definitely even bigger.
Isn't there an Essence Festival in New Orleans?
There is, in July, yes. And so we're probably going to be a part of that next year, and excited that they have looked at this. And it mirrors what it is that Essence is all about. And that's holistic wellness for women to, really be able to understand and know how to live their best life.
And you've been in the planning stages for this for quite some time.
4 years for quite some time.
Yeah.
So this is not anything that happened overnight. So actually, when I turned 34, I had a private dinner with 34 women who had inspired, influenced, and were important in my life.
34?
34 women.
You chose 34?
I chose 34.
And you put it together?
That was so many years ago. 43.
Okay.
43 when I turned 43. And so at that point, I kind of wanted to do this self-check myself. And so I kind of wanted to say, am I getting it right? Is what matters, should matter? So I had some peers in the room, but I also had a lot of mentors in the room. And my life coach at the time and I moderated a conversation. And who really inspired this is Mrs. Jackson, Mrs. Jacqueline Jackson.
Yeah, is that right?
I told her about this idea and concept. Her mother was ill at the time and she wasn't able to come to the dinner. But she told me that there's power in women getting in the room and having a conversation. And at that dinner, we talked about relationships. We talked about spirituality. We talked about health and the issues that women go through. And we laughed and we cried. We had cancer survivors in the room. We had women going through many medical issues in the room. And it really did inspire me not to let it go. And so that was what birthed the I Am That Woman retreat.
So this sounds like if you have a loved one, you might want to sponsor them going just as you have sponsors.
Oh, yes.
You may want to sponsor a few people to go on this retreat.
Absolutely. It is going to be
So you will take
amazing.
a man's money.
Oh, I will definitely take a man's money. Yes.
Sure.
And he should gift her. I mean,
Yeah.
because it is an opportunity for her to come back and, be rejuvenated and revived and refreshed to be able to keep, giving her best self to him and the family. So, absolutely.
Well, let me say, I'm going to take a break. And then when we come back, maybe people would want to call you. Is there a way you can register online?
You can. You can register online at www.iamthatwomanretreat.com. Again, you can go online, register, and find out more information at www.iamthatwomanretreat.com.
I would think that more women would have been, the phone would have been jumping off the hook to do this. But you did say also that most of the double occupancy has already been sold out.
They have been sold out. Even when we first started promoting this in January and February, because it's an all-adult property. So the Unico Resort, there's no children, so you won't have to worry about, you know, kids running around. It's a very intimate property. And so all of our double rooms are taken, but we still have rooms available. They are going fast.
But that's what did you allot only a certain amount? Yes, minimum for doubling.
I think because it's an adult-only property, most of their rooms are kings and suites and things like that. They get a lot of honeymooners and, you know, a lot of couples traveling together. And so so the bulk of our rooms were single occupancy. But you can still have two girlfriends come. They're huge king-size beds, and so there's plenty of space. There's soaking tubs on every balcony. All of our rooms are ocean view. And so there's a lot of amenities that comes with what you get.
Okay. Okay, we're going to take our last break. Brothers and sisters, if you want to call us again, we'll be back on the other side, and you can call us. We'll be right back.
At Cook County, your health is our priority at every stage of life. Our team of primary care physicians is focused on keeping your entire family healthy with convenient hours and locations throughout Cook County so you can focus on what matters. We've served the people of Cook County for more than 180 years. We're ready to serve them now with today's modern medicine. We are Cook County Health. Look at us now.
Eat and Run Chicken and Fish has the only chicken you can reheat and eat. It's good as mother's and better than the others. It is the chicken even mothers love. We've been serving the community for over 30 years. We cook with 100% vegetable oil and are open 7 days a week, including holidays. We're located at 87th and Hermitage. Contact us at 773-429-1812 for your takeout order, or let us provide all your catering needs. For the best chicken of your life, it's Eat and Run.
Assalamu alaikum. We are back, and brothers and sisters, we've been streaming live. I can see you may be observing, but you're certainly not participating in the way that I'd like you to participate, because I think you should call Twyler and register right now, and register those people that you like the most, and it's a minimum cost for what you're going to get.
Yes.
Now, you think it's going to be quite rewarding, do you not?
Oh, absolutely.
I want you to look into this camera and tell me how important you think it is that someone of your caliber, would you want someone to send you there in the event that you could be there?
I would absolutely want someone to send me here, because this is going to be an opportunity that you don't want to miss for sure. There's going to be so much. In addition to the speakers who are coming, like Susan Taylor and Kim Coles and Aida Rodriguez and Tiffany Alashay, who's the Black Budgetnista. She's like her name is the Budgetnista. She's the Black Susie Orman, and so right? She's doing our financial workshop.
I can give you a financial lesson if you send for me. Yeah, okay,
And so we also have Tiffany Alashay coming, and so many others like Love McPherson and Amy Hilliard and Sherry Franklin Hill, and I can go on and on about the wonderful women who are coming. But the camaraderie that you're going to also receive is just going to be phenomenal, because there's a lot of women not only coming from Chicago, actually
but
we
around
have
the country.
Women coming from Chicago, Chicago in addition to California, Michigan, the East Coast and D.C., New York, Atlanta. So we do have women coming from
But you know
all
what, we
around
should have
the
thought
country.
of having this, and you know, you certainly are adequate enough because your ability to articulate and it being your company. But it would be nice if we had Susan or Amy at least
Yes.
to call in and tell the people how important this is going to be. But before October 6th,
October 10th through the 14th.
we'll have
October
you
10th
back,
through the 14th.
and perhaps we could have one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so we are actually just confirming all of our final details with our speakers now, and so we can certainly come back, and I would be more than happy to schedule one of them, and even have one of our celebrity guests who may not be local to call in and take questions as well. So
That's right.
yeah, so whether it's Tracy or Kim or one of them.
Now, I'm trying to get over this massage. You call it 4 hands, huh?
The 4 hands is called the Estancia Signature Massage, which is the name, which is the name of their spa.
Okay.
And so that signature massage of 4 hands for only $80. The resort offers so many amenities.
What does this butler do for you? I mean, unpack your bags, you say.
He can pack your bags. He or she can pack
We're
your
not
bags. Unpack
discriminating.
it. We're not discriminating. But when you, upon arrival, after you check in, you will have what they call an affiditron. And your affiditron is your local host, and your local host is your private butler who can pack and unpack for you. They can make your dinner reservations. There's 4 5-star restaurants that's on property. They can make your dinner reservations because Thursday night you're on your own. So there's no planned activities, so you can go to dinner.
Night.
That is the second night. So Wednesday we have a welcome reception.
Okay.
So thank you. I'll walk you through the schedule. Wednesday we have a welcome reception. That's when Aida Rodriguez is going to be our entertainment.
Is
She's
she
a
going to
comedian.
crack jokes too?
She is going to crack jokes. She is hilarious. She says, "I'll say it for you." So my mother is coming. I got to tell her to keep it clean because Aida can be a little rough sometimes. But anyway, then on Thursday we start with yoga. Valerie Twyler, again, who's 67 and training for an Ironman and who's local, will lead us in yoga. And then we have meditation. So Sherry Franklin Hill is leading us with meditation. That's our very first session. And then Love McPherson will talk about loving yourself and the importance of that. She's a relationship coach. And then Renetta McCann, who is from Leo Burnett Worldwide and has a very phenomenal story about her career and just navigating the ups and downs of that, is going to talk in her next session. And then again, we have Amy Hilliard interviewing Tracy Edmonds. And then we go to lunch, and that's when Kim Coles is going to pour into us about giving back your gifts. She has a book out that's about that. And then after lunch, you're on your own. You can take a Mayan excursion. You can go snorkeling. You can stay at the pool. You can just relax, go to the beach, do whatever it is that you want to do. Friday, we come back and kind of repeat the same things with yoga and meditation, but then we talk about health and wellness. So we have a health panel, and that panel is Valerie Twyler, Ernestine Shepard, who I told you about. Dr. Karen Pendleton will be moderating that conversation with Dr. Rita McGuire, who's also a local OBGYN. She has a phenomenal story about losing a lot of her family members, and she decided to take her health into her own hands. I should bring her back too, because she just opened a juice bar on the south side of Chicago not a month ago. And so we have that, and then we're going to talk about some financial wellness, because if you don't have your money together, that can cause a whole lot of stress, and so the importance of that, and that's Tiffany Alashay. And then Cheryl Grace. You probably know Cheryl from Nielsen, but
Cheryl
Pearson McNeil, now Cheryl Grace. She just started her own brand called The Powerful Penny. And so Cheryl has...
She's no longer with Nielsen?
She's still there.
Okay.
But she is an entrepreneur in her own right as well. And so she helps women to create their vision boards and eat what she calls pink elephants, which are your big goals. And so Cheryl has a resource book. And so that, to me, will help women to become that woman and what that means to them. So Cheryl is leading us in our last session before Edna Kane Williams, who's the Senior Vice President at AARP, ends our day. And then we have a white party where Susan Taylor will be our keynote speaker on Friday night, and we're so excited about that.
And Friday night, is that the last night?
That is the last night. And then Saturday, you can go shopping, you can go to the spa, you can do anything that you want to do all day. And we have an hour-long worship service on Sunday for those who will still be there and able to attend for that. And
when do we come home?
We come home on Sunday or Monday.
Now, let me ask you, so everyone is not going to fly together?
No, everyone's not going to fly together. So
different.
Everyone's coming in at different times. We have some, because the resort gave us the same room rate 3 days prior and 3 days afterwards, we have some women coming to enjoy 7 days of vacation in addition to the retreat. And so some are coming in on Wednesday, leaving on Sunday, and some are leaving on Monday.
So you did an awful lot of research for this, and I have to tell you, your ability to retain all the names is quite remarkable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy that we've been able to participate in your first, well, your inaugural event.
Yes.
And of course, this is certainly not going to be your last.
Not by any means.
But you know, you do such great planning.
Thank you.
Have you already begun to plan the following
year?
Yes,
2019 is well underway. So yes, we already have some speaker requests out there that we hope to be able to come back and announce as soon as we get back in October. And so next year, it will be the first week in October. We're going back to the same resort next year, but in 2020, we'll be announcing a new location.
Okay.
And so, so we're excited. Next year, we're going cross-cultural. So you'll see speakers that are outside of the ethnicity of African American. So we're going to open it up and be more broad. And that was our intentions this year, but God just landed our speaker lineup to be as amazing as it is with all African American women.
And you're happy with what you got?
I am thrilled. I could not be more excited with what we have. I couldn't be more excited with some of the women who we have coming. We have, I will say, TV show host wives coming. And so I'm not going to put any particular names out there, but I'll let people figure it out. We have CEOs coming. We have, I mean, a lot of high-profile ladies are coming from Chicago and across the country.
So I got you, but they're all women.
Yes, they are all women.
Now,
although,
but you're not going to stop men from being in
No,
Mexico.
not at all. We actually have some of our speakers, some of their significant others are coming, and we do have some husband and wife celebrating their anniversaries, and they're taking advantage of this all-inclusive 5-star resort as their anniversary location. So.
Well, you mentioned our friend Cheryl Grace, who I knew as Cheryl Pierce McNeil,
yes.
McNeil Pierce.
Pierce
I used to
McNeil.
get it always confused, but I don't get Al Grace confused.
Right.
And I know they've recently been married, so
yes.
I'm probably sure that Al will be somewhere in Mexico himself.
Al might just be in Mexico himself.
It might be. Well, you know, you're always welcome to come back on whenever
Thank
you like. Now, again, why don't you give that email, the website, and
absolutely.
phone number for who want to call you specifically.
Yes, absolutely. So for the women who still would like to register and would like more information, our website address is www.iamthatwomanretreat.com. Again, that's www.iamthatwomanretreat.com. You can always call us at 773-285-9700. And again, that's 773-285-9700, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions, and hope you can join us in October at the I Am That Woman Retreat, October 10th through the 14th at the all-inclusive and 5-star Unico Resort. Unico.
Yeah, I love those sponsors that you got. Yep. Now, I have to say, I'm quite impressed what you've done.
Thank you.
And I hope you much success. And again, as I say, you can come on. And I really would like to have one of those celebrities that's going to be there to come on, because sometimes people need a little pumping up. However, if they don't register as soon as possible, there might not be a space.
That is absolutely right.
Because 150 people, that's not a lot.
It's not, and we're almost there. And so, you know, we have quite a few speakers coming, and our staff is going with us, of course, to be able to handle the logistics. So, so that is our cap. But,
so the staff get benefit of the doubt, or they have to take a little money from their vacation?
Well, they're going to be doing a lot of work, so so they're getting a whole lot of benefits. So yeah, they're loving this opportunity.
Well, congratulations on your success, and I know you will come again.
Oh, I absolutely will come again. In the next 2 weeks, I will be back.
You promise?
Yes.
Okay, brothers and sisters, look, if it's 7:30 on Sunday nights, it's Muhammad and Friend. It looks as though I have a call. Caller, you're on the air. Hello, caller?
Hi, good evening.
I can hear you breathing. Yes, you have a question or a comment?
Yes, I am wondering if Ms. Jenkins recommends the retreat for young professional women or for students, and if so, are there student discounts available?
Good question.
I would definitely encourage young professional women to come. As I had stated even before, we have 20-year-olds coming and 30-year-olds coming. You can call me. We can talk about a discount. We can absolutely honor our lowest rate for registration for you. And so we would be able to provide that for you, yes.
Thank you so much, caller. My dear brothers and sisters, remember, if it's Sunday night, 7:30, it's Muhammad and Friends. And we stream live on Sunday at 2:30. Interesting show this Sunday coming up. Thank you for watching. May Allah bless you with the light of understanding as I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum.